Okay, welcome everybody to our second team challenge call. This is our One Life, One Body team challenge, and I just want to start out with some recognition and make sure that everybody understands where we are and just give us a chance to connect with one another and get ready for the next week, going into the next week, and make sure that we have the right mindset and that we're just ready to rock and roll. So the purpose, just to reiterate, of these calls, this is a new thing for me. I didn't used to do team challenge calls, but I started doing these because I realized that as much as we connect in the groups, it's really helpful for us to connect on these calls when we can. We're not in person, but to see each other on a video is helpful because we can ask questions and we can really get to know each other more and know that we are all supporting each other and know who we're working with and all that great stuff about challenge groups. So first, I just want to start out. I took some notes to keep myself on track. If you don't know this about me, I'm a very long-winded person. And so if I don't keep notes, I will just keep talking. So I have to kind of refer to my notes to make sure I keep myself on track. So I want to give some shout outs and some recognition to several of you in this group for different reasons. So I'm just going to start out with Jen Casey. I just want to give her a shout out to recognize her for getting on her healthy journey and staying on it. She completed 47 days of workouts, and Jen is not somebody who used to really work out, and according to her, she never worked out. So to be doing something that you've never done and do it consecutively for 47 days is huge. I know that she posted in the group today that she was disappointed that she kind of fell off for 3 days, and that's going to be something I talk about in a little bit. But it's very normal to do that. And so I want us to focus on what we have done and not hone in on the things that we still have to work on. Recognize what we have to work on so we know where we're headed. However, I want the things that we do to be magnified, the things that we do positively to be magnified. If you've had a day of drinking water all day and that's a big win for you, I really want you to start honing in on the wins. So Jen did an awesome job, and I want to recognize her for that. The second person is Jennifer Cook, and she is somebody who is just self-motivated, and she's not a single mom. She's a mom who's working and is just busy all the time, and she plugs into the group when she can, but she's been really motivated on her own as well as in the groups. And she's a veterinarian technician, and she's been doing that for a long time, and she has long hours. She has a daughter, and she's just rocking it. And she's kind of quiet in the group sometimes, but Jen, you're really you're killing it. And behind the scenes, I talk to each of you, not just in the groups, but I talk to you private messages. And I know that there's some things we don't talk about in the groups. And I just want to lift her up because she is killing it. Pam Walker is also somebody who's just more self-motivated. She's an encourager. And I really appreciate people in our groups who encourage one another, because these groups really feed off of energy. So when people are very active in the group, it really, as much as you might not realize this, it really helps not only you, but it helps everybody else in the group. It's kind of like a give and take circle. When people aren't, contributing to the group, it really helps when they jump back in. But Pam is somebody who is always contributing, always encouraging, and always doing her workouts, drinking her Shakeology. She's always on top of it. So I just want to give her a shout out. Christina Love, she is my awesome coach who is just moving. So she just moved. And when I say move, I mean like moved from one house to another. And so you guys know how hard it is to move and how hard it is to stay on top of anything when you're moving, especially clean eating and working out. And she's been doing her best. She's had some back problems, and she still has progressed forward. Is not as fast as she'd like to. She holds herself to a high standard, which I love about her. But at the end of the day, when you are looking at what this takes, it's a lifestyle. And so there's going to be ups and downs. And, as long as you're continuing to plug in and make the changes that you need to make, you're going forward. And so there's going to be, 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. That's normal. And I admire her for not unplugging just because she's relocating. And Irma, our lovely Irma, who is a teacher, and she went on vacation, and she had some family health issues and all this different stuff. She is back on her fitness game, and she's back on track, and she plugged back in, and I'm just so happy to see her face again. So I want to recognize her for being back. My newest VIP member, which is Ashley, one of my newest VIP members, Ashley Lally. She's quiet in the group, but she's somebody who behind the scenes just does the work. She's not a big poster, so it's kind of a struggle for her sometimes to always stay consistent with posting, but we talk behind the scenes, and she has committed to her health and, taking advantage of a discount, with her fitness products. And it's just another way to keep yourself accountable, is to plug into this community. And that's huge. You guys, if you don't know about the VIP membership and about that opportunity, definitely talk to me, or if your coach is in this group, talk to your coach, because it's something that will really keep you accountable to your fitness goals. It doesn't mean that you have to coach like I do. It just is something that you can receive a lot of benefits from, not just a discount on your Shakeology and your fitness programs, but you can really it will encourage you to stay plugged into these groups ongoing. Kavita, who was in a funk, she was in a fitness funk and she couldn't figure out what to do. She has embraced this challenge group. She has just plugged in, and she's been crushing her T25 program, and she's just been loving it, and she feels like she is really lifting out of the funk. I'm sorry, 2 more people. Tasha, who's also my cousin, she's also very self-motivated, and she's been, just doing different programs on Beachbody On Demand. And she's like a silent soldier. She just gets it done, and she's like, okay, done. And, sometimes you don't recognize how much hard work goes behind the scenes in that. And so she kills it. She does both of my groups. She does my free group and this group. And I just want to recognize her for that. And then last but not least, Jasmine Bone, who's on, am I saying your name right, last name right, Bone? Oh, well, she is awesome. She's been plugging into every group. She's in both of my groups. She is.
Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Carrie, are you there? Can you hear me? I see you. Oh, your hair is getting long. I love it.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I just was getting to last, but definitely not least. Jasmine is, has the most points in our group. She's plugging in every day. She's in my free group also. She's very active on her social media, which means she's encouraging other people and holding herself accountable. And these things seem like, they might be easy for some people, but they're not. I mean, it takes time to make a post. It takes time to plug into a group. It takes time to work out. It takes time to eat right. It takes motivation to stick with what it is that your goals, and not to fall off of your meal plan. And none of us are going to do it perfect. We try to really stick with 80-20, and sometimes the 80-20 turns into 70-30, and sometimes it's 90-10. It just really depends on what is going on in your life that you're really pushing through. But Jasmine just came in, she embraced the challenge group. Her coach, Carrie, who's on the call, is awesome. She's one of my very best friends, and she has just, brought her into this environment, and Jasmine has embraced the environment, and it's just been awesome. And I just want to lift her up. So that's what I want to say about recognizing everybody. Everybody's doing so great. And these groups are for you to really feed into and feed off of. And the more you plug into the group, the better off you'll be, even if you've fallen off. So I know sometimes it's hard to plug in when you're not, on your A game, and you're not doing your workouts, or, you have messed up with your eating or whatever. But it's really important to just plug in anyway, because you're going to get motivation from other people who are staying on top of it. And it might just be that you see somebody and you're like, what, I can still do this. It's okay. Or it might just be that you plug in and say, what, I've been having a hard time, but I'm, sharing that with the group, and somebody in here is going to encourage you. So always plug into the group. Okay. I'm going to move really fast because we don't have that much time, but I just want to go over a few tips and then talk about what we're going to go over next week, what we're going to kind of focus on next week for the challenge group. So tips are going to stay the same. You know, if you haven't already done this, schedule your workouts in your calendars. Make sure you have a place in your day for your workouts. I know for me, if I don't have a schedule, it's really hard for me to stick to be consistent. So if I don't say I'm going to do this at a specific time, it's very hard for me to do that. And I schedule mine, and sometimes I miss the appointment. So sometimes I try to work out in the mornings because I don't like to work out at night. But sometimes I'll miss that, and I'll say, okay, I can't work out until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then sometimes I'll miss that, and I still schedule it, because if I don't, I very easily will just say, that's all right, I'll double it up tomorrow, which doesn't happen. I won't double it up. I just say I'll double it up. And then the time goes by, and then I'm like, okay, how come I haven't gotten the results I want? So schedule your workouts. Prepping. So prepping for some people is like this really fun thing to do, and for other people it's very stressful. I don't think prepping should ever be stressful. I think there's 2 things that have helped me to keep it non-stressful and for it to work in my favor. One is, if it's stressful for you to prep for an entire week, just don't. Prep from Monday through Wednesday, or prep just for 2 days, or even do it day by day. Just like you would lay out your clothes the night before for work, do that with your meals. Just know what you're going to have, write it down so that you don't have to think when you're in a hurry, you're like, what am I doing next? You already have it written down. If you really thrive off organization, then write it down for the whole week. The other thing that's really helped me is to just prep some things. So maybe I don't prep an entire meal, but I'll prep things that have to be chopped. I will marinate things that have to be marinated. I will, maybe if you're making homemade dressings, just make those things. And maybe you're not cooking all your food, but you have those things that can really eat up a lot of time. You're just doing those things ahead of time. So you already have those to grab and go. And then you're like, okay, I can cook. I can make the rest of the food. So just make it simple for yourself and keep your meals simple. If you're not really a good cook, or you're not used to cooking, stick to the basics. Eggs, oatmeal, sweet potatoes, bake and grill everything. That, to me, and crock pot are the easiest ways to stay on track, because unless you're comfortable and you've gotten the fundamentals down, or unless you are somebody who's just very comfortable in the kitchen, you can get lost in the details of trying to make a really amazing meal. Stick to the basics. The fundamentals will get you much further than fancy meals. And then as you get so used to that, then you can start to really jazz it up. Okay, so the other tip I want to say is pick an accountability partner, even if it's not somebody in this group. So this group is meant for accountability and support. But if there's not anybody in this group who you feel like is holding you accountable, find somebody outside of the group as well, somebody that you see in person that you can say, hey, I'm doing this group. I want to let you know about it. And just the more people you let know about your goals, the better, because they can encourage you. And people that you trust, if you feel like it's people who are going to not necessarily encourage you, then that's not what you want to do. But people who you can trust. Shakeology, no matter what. So 80% of our results do not come from our workouts. They come from our food. So Shakeology is like your insurance plan. If you are having an off day, or you're traveling, or you're having all these different things going on, that your Shakeology is going to be your meal that is like bulletproof. So no matter what you do, even if you just have to shake it up and drink it down the way that you would take a vitamin, do that, because it's doing so many things for you. Today we went out to lunch, and I knew there was going to be like fried chicken and all this stuff that I knew I was going to want to eat. So I had my shake before I left. I made a really yummy shake, and I knew that it would be a while before we ate, and I did that, and it really curbed my cravings. I still got some yummy food. I got sushi nachos, which were amazing. However, I would have gotten those, and then I would have gotten an appetizer, and then I would have gotten probably one more thing. And little Michael asked me for dessert, and I would have probably been like, yep, we're getting that too. So the Shakeology is really just going to keep you satiated, but not just that. It's going to really feed you so that you can make healthier choices when you're out. Beachbody Performance. I'm doing a program called Hammer and Chisel. If you guys don't know about it, you do a lot of weightlifting. And so it's really helpful for me to use the Energize, which is the pre-workout. And then sometimes I drink the Hydrate during my workout if it's a really heavy day where I'm doing, a really, stressful for me workout. And then I do the Recharge, which is something that helps you to recover your muscles at night. And then about 3 to 4 times a week, I do the Recover, which is something you have right after your meal. You don't have to do all of those things, but definitely look into or ask me questions about the Beachbody Performance, because it really helps you to have extra energy for your workouts. If you don't need it, you don't need it. I never used it with 21 Day Fix. I definitely didn't use it for Country Heat. There's certain programs I didn't feel like I needed it for, but this program, I feel like I need it for. Core to Force, I needed it for, and it really, really helped me to get optimal workouts in. So definitely take advantage of that. It's all natural. It's amazing. If you don't know about it, you should get yourself a sampler. They sell the sampler of every product that they have in the line, and I think it's like $30 or something like that. And you can try everything and see how you respond to it, see how you like it, but it's awesome. Okay, and then one last thing is subscribing to Shakeology, the Inside Shakeology podcast. I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's this really cool podcast that Beachbody put together, and it tells you everything about Shakeology. And they just pick little snippets of information so that they don't overwhelm you, but they give you inside information. So they talk about Beachbody, about Shakeology, why it's good for athletes. That was one of them. They talk about why, how it stops the diet cycle, meaning how you can be eating clean, but you still don't feel like you're fed, and you have this plateau and you start to go back to what you were doing because you don't feel like you're getting enough support for your body. You have like a deficiency in your eating, and you're doing a calorie deficit so that you can burn fat, right? And about day 10, day 12, you start to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can keep up with this. And they talk about why Shakeology counterbalances that. There's so many different things, but they really, when you listen to just one of these podcasts, you're going to feel like you're a rock star, because they explain to you what's the science behind Shakeology, and they explain it in layman's terms. They're not using all these big words. They're just talking about why it's so amazing. And if you listen to one, you'll never stop drinking Shakeology, because you'll be blown. Your mind will be blown about how much energy, effort, resources goes into the creation of Shakeology. So definitely a tip. I listen to that a lot. It really educates me on what I'm putting in my body, which you should know what you're putting in your body. And it helps me to reinforce, okay, no matter what I do, I'm going to make sure I have my shake. And then Beachbody On Demand. Make sure you're using your Beachbody On Demand. Most of you have the All Access Pass, but if you don't, on there's a cooking show called the Fixate Cooking Show. It's going to give you recipes based on the container system. It's going to give you so many different ideas of just things that you can do to spice up this lifestyle. And then, of course, it's going to give you all your workouts. So if you're, in a program and you're just, finishing it and you're not sure what you want to try next, that's your opportunity to peruse through the library there and see what they have. There's every single thing you can think of: cardio, yoga, weightlifting, bulking. I mean, everything you can think of. So that's it for the tips. And then for next week, and goals. I really want us to set goals. Make sure that most of you are doing this already, but each week, give yourself a weekly goal that you can think of when you're going throughout the week that you're focused on. So we all came in with a big goal, right? Like, I want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever it is. But you have to break that down into chunks. So look at your week and say, okay, what is it that I struggled with last week that I want to focus on this week? And what was I really awesome at last week that I want to continue with for this week? So for me, I gained a pound this past week, and thankfully I have a lot of experience with weightlifting, so I wasn't like horrified, but I wasn't excited either. So it's like, okay, I know that my body's adjusting to lifting weights again because I was doing a lot of cardio, and that's okay. But I did lose an inch, so I am moving forward, but I want to definitely ramp it up. So I definitely want to dial in on my nutrition. I have a glass of wine right here. I'm going to try to really hone in on my nutrition and maybe cut out that, because I really want to see myself progress. I have a big goal by my birthday, and I know that these little decisions don't seem like a big deal now, but it's going to come April 13th, and I'm going to be like, man, I could have, done a little bit more to hit my goal. And so I'm not going to pressure myself, but I am going to make that my focus for this week. So I would like to lose 3 pounds this week. I would like to see 3 pounds less on the scale, and I would like to see 3 inches, total body inches gone. So that's my goal. Hopefully that happens, but I know that I'm just going to give it what I need to give it. And so set a goal for yourself based on your big goal, chunk it down. Okay, what do I need to hone in on? What am I not doing that I could, get better at this week? And then mindset for next week. So I really want to focus on mindset. So a lot of what we talk about is like, okay, I got my workout in. Okay, I did my Shakeology. Okay, I have, ate clean, but this is mostly mindset, right? So if your mind is not in the right place, it's really going to be very difficult for you to even press play on your workout. And some days it's even difficult to shake up your shake because you're just like, I'm just not feeling it. So for me, my mindset is everything. I have to get out of bed every morning and fill my mind with positive quotes. I read my Bible. I read a devotional. I'm a head case, so I have to do a lot of personal development. I have to, or else I just will get too distracted with the what ifs and the worries and all these other things. And then I won't focus on my goals, and I'll just feel overwhelmed, and I'll feel like I can't do it. And it's not that I don't feel that way, but I do a lot of work to counterbalance that, if that makes sense. So it's like I have this huge push against me, but I'm pushing back at the same time. So I'm still moving forward. And I may be slower than somebody who doesn't necessarily have those struggles, or I may be faster than somebody else who does have more struggles. It doesn't matter. I'm working on me. I'm trying to get better than I was before. So for me, it's almost like a push-pull. It's like you have 5 steps forward and you have 2 steps back, but you're still going forward. The 2 steps back are very frustrating, but you still have 3 steps forward. And so my mindset goal for the week is to just focus on what I've done right, what I've done well, and to not get bogged down with all the things I coulda, shoulda, woulda done better. So, next week I'm going to be posting a lot of mindset quotes, posting a lot of suggestions of things that we can do to just keep ourselves in the right frame of mind. And just to, lift us up. I did 6 months of counseling after I had my son, Gabriel, because I struggled with postpartum, what I thought was postpartum depression, what was actually post-traumatic stress from the death of my daughter. And so that really helped me to get some practical tools for not just dealing with that, but for dealing with my life in general. And fitness is a part of my life. And so it applies to this. It's not just if you've had a loss or, the struggles I've been through. It applies to any adversity in your life. And fitness is a form of adversity. You have to overcome what goes in your mind telling you can't do another rep. You can't eat clean today. You can't. It seems silly, but these things, we all have a reason why we want to be healthy. And most of us, it's because we want the other parts of our life to be better. It's not just because you want to be healthy for health's sake itself. It's because you have people in your life you want to be healthy for. You want to live longer. You want to feel good about yourself. You want self-confidence. There's a million reasons why we're in these groups. And so if your mind is not constantly focused on what it is that your goal is and then staying focused on that, it's very easy to get distracted. So next week is really going to be about our mindset. So I want to encourage you guys, while you're on, social media or while you're on the internet or whatever, post stuff that you find helpful, post quotes, post, things, conversations that you've had with people. Maybe somebody set up something uplifting to you, share it with the group. Anything that has helped you in your private life, share it in the group. I want to, really encourage you to do that. And then, 2 more things. Make it fun. So I'm a very serious person. I mean, I laugh a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm a very serious, like, get in, get it done, hurry up. And so I have to remind myself to have fun. I thankfully have a husband who's very he's a very yellow personality. If you've ever done like a color code test, he's very if it's not fun, what's the point? So I have him to kind of counterbalance when I'm so focused on everything, get it. Everything's got to be, what it is, but fitness should be fun. It's hard work and it's a goal, but it should be fun too. It should be something that you enjoy. It should not always be a chore. So sometimes if I'm so into my workout and I'm so, into my program and I'm all, focused on my goals and I miss a day and I get all miffed and I'm just upset, sometimes I just do a different workout. So like I might do a country heat workout, or I might just do I go for a walk, something that makes me like, whoa, I don't have to take this so seriously. This is about enhancing my life. This is not about following rules and checking check marks. So I can very easily fall into that because I like to accomplish. It makes me feel good when I work hard. And so I want to have those check marks. I want to say, yep, did my workout. Yep, drank my Shakeology. Yep, had all 5 of my meals. But then on the flip side, that can put a lot of pressure on me, because if there's those days like the other day, we were up till 5:30 in the morning on Saturday. Well, I'm not getting up at 6 to do my work. It's not happening. So somebody like me, that can really throw me off until I remember, you know what? This is about the journey. It's about everything that happens, not just a snapshot of what you see for these 3 days. So make it fun. Find somebody who wants to do this with you, and just, when you start to get too serious about it, just stop and make yourself laugh, do something different, shake it up a bit. But if you're on a roll and you're, rocking it, stay with that. Don't fix what's not broken. And then I just want to give you a call to action. So I would like you to find a quote or something that you feel is inspiring to you that is combating your limiting beliefs. So we all have limiting beliefs. For me, I talked about this on my team call with my team about how I always feel like I'm not worth it, like I don't deserve success. Who am I to lead people? Who am I to, why should anybody listen to me? So for me, I have to find a lot of books and quotes and different things that combat that, because that's just not true. I'm worthy to be listened to. I deserve success. But my mind sometimes wants to tell me something different. And so I want to challenge you to find something, to figure out what your limiting beliefs are, what may have held you back in the past, or what you feel like may be holding you back in this group, and just find some things to share. You don't have to share what your limiting beliefs are, but just find some things that, like I said, quotes or something inspiring, an article, whatever, and share it with the group that you feel like combats that limiting belief, and share it with the group. And then a suggestion, I know Carrie has this book, and a lot of the people on our team have this book, but this book called The Compound Effect has really helped me in so many areas of my life. It's a very simple book. You could probably sit down and read it in a day or two if you had the time. It's probably like 250 pages maybe, but it just shows you how little decisions add up to change, and how you don't have to pressure yourself to take leaps and bounds, because it's really the daily vital decisions that you make that add up to the change that you're looking for. So it's very rare for somebody to go from 0 to 10 and be successful. It's really them going from 0 to 0.5 to 1 to 1.5 to 2, that they're making decisions like, how they always say, take the stairs, park far away, all those little things. The reason why those things are important is because they add up. It's like snowballs. They're made up of all these little tiny snowflakes that come into this huge, what could be an avalanche, right? So it seems like nothing's happening sometimes. Like I said, I gained a pound this week, and it's like, okay, it makes me just feel like, okay, well, am I doing something wrong? But I know I'm not, only because I've done this long enough. I'm just going to keep going. But if I was somebody who was brand new and wasn't used to working out, I would probably feel like this doesn't work. I need a different program. You just have to trust the process and keep going. And it sounds simple, but he talks about this in the book. The things that are simple to do are also simple not to do. So I would really highly recommend you checking out that book. That has helped me a lot in my marriage, in my business, in my fitness, in all kinds of different ways. So I talked a lot. I know I'm trying to hurry because I know everybody's got stuff to do. I'm just going to let you guys, if you guys have any comments or questions, go. If not, then I'll end it. Anything?
No, I just wanted to
reiterate the whole compound effect. I think that's awesome because it definitely changes the way you think. And I also like you mentioning making fun, and you and I are exactly alike. So
I know.
with the check marks and all of that. So that's what I'm trying to put to use is, yeah, maybe I'm doing a specific program, but it doesn't mean that if I want to go I'm not feeling it and I want to do country heat one day and just dance my ass off, then that's okay to do. So
Yes.
that's a good thing to make everyone else realize and try to do as well. We shouldn't be hating our journey. We should be enjoying it.
Yes. And when you have a personality like me and Carrie, when we're on our A game, watch out, because we could be the president of the United States. But when we're not on our A game, it's like it's feast or famine for people like us. So we have to fight very hard to be balanced, and it's a struggle. But you can do it by just one day at a time. I mean, I think for people like me and Carrie, this will always be a lifelong process. It will always be trying to, it's our nature to swing on two ends of the pendulum and to just be like, okay, I'm over here now, I'm killing it. Okay, I'm over here now, I'm not doing anything. That's our personalities. And so people like us, that's what I was saying about, the mindset. I look for things every day that are about balance because I naturally am an unbalanced person. I'm very all or nothing, feast or famine. And it's just sometimes it doesn't have to be about achieving a specific goal in that moment. It just needs to be about all these things will add up. And for us, we want everything to have some sort of end point. It's like, it's got to have a beginning, got to have a middle, got to have an end. And that's just not how this journey goes. It's really just these 30-day groups. They're just snapshots. It's like when you get a, what do they call it? EKG, echocardiogram or whatever. It's like they're showing you the rhythm of your heart. If you just look at one piece, it could be the up rhythm, it could be the down rhythm. And you can look at that and go, oh my God, I'm in amazing shape, or oh my God, I'm in horrible shape. But you have to look at the whole thing to see, okay, what's going on with this person? Are they having constant up and downs? What is it? But you have to remember this is a snapshot, and your job is just to show up every day and do your best. And then the next group, you might have a really up time, and the next one you have, but overall, when you're showing up every day and you're not giving up and you're continuing, you are progressing, even if you have setbacks. The reality is if you don't give up, you are moving forward. You just might move slower than you wanted, which again, for a personality like mine, I don't like that, but I've learned to accept it because I'd rather do that than to just give up and do nothing and then realize, oh my gosh, I could have been there if I just continued and stopped being so impatient. So I love that, Carrie, because Carrie and I talk a lot privately because this is something that this is just our personal struggle, and you have to figure out what is it that you're struggling with and find people to support you and find ways to combat that, because there's always somebody else who struggles with the same thing, and there's always a way to succeed through it. There is. You just have to want to do it more than you don't want to do it. So I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I forgot anything. I pretty much wrote everything down. Do you guys have weekly goals for next week?
I do. I've written down a few.
Say that. Sorry, Carrie.
I've written down a few.
Okay.
Some have to do with my fitness journey, and then some have to do with my moving right now. So
yes. Okay.
And I just want to recognize Jasmine real quick, because you are killing it in that group. And
killing it.
I know that when we first, started talking, you said that you had some things that you struggled with, and it was your ride home and maybe not getting your workout in because of, your travel time and work and everything. And since you've been in this accountability group, it's amazing. You don't miss a beat. And you're just going, and you're very inspiring, and it's just awesome to see. So thank you.
I find myself trying to keep up with her. I'm going, wait, she's already done her workout. I'm like, crap, I got to do mine. Yes. Jasmine, do you have any questions about anything that you're doing with your program or anything that you want to say before we wrap?
Not really today. I feel like everything's going pretty good. So
Okay.
Good.
Well, you know where to find us. So I am just glad you guys were able to get on the call. I know it's hard on Sunday. It was supposed to be yesterday. The next call will be on Saturday. Like I said, I had to take little Michael to his birthday party, and Michael couldn't take him. So my husband couldn't take him. So that's why we're doing this. But next week, it will be Saturday, East Coast time, 10 a.m. So you guys are both West Coast time. So 7 a.m. I know that's early on a Saturday, but if you can't make it, I mean, I do record the calls. So, So I think that's it. If you guys don't have anything to add, I'm going to end the recording and post it. The last one got destroyed, and I literally had to hold back tears. I was like, okay. Woosah.
Okay.
But hopefully this will not, and I will upload it into our group. So,
All right. Cool.
all right. Well, thank you. Thank you for jumping on. I'm excited about this coming week. Thank you for pushing me, Jasmine, because I'm telling you, Carrie and I are in the same boat. We're both moving at the same time, and let me just show you how I have nothing packed. Like this, we're only in my bedroom. So let's just go there. There's the bed. And there's God knows what that is. And I can't. I mean, there's literally nothing packed in this house. And we went to our new place today, and I was like, oh, it's half the size. And the closet spaces, the bedrooms are half the size too. The master bedroom and the two other bedrooms, literally cut in half. And the closets are like, I'm in a hotel. But we stayed there because it's a good fit for us in other ways. And there's a lot of storage space. But I was like, I started to feel the chunks rising up here. I'm like, wait, we decided on this place? Wait, what? Michael's like, it's okay. It's okay. So Carrie and I are both in the same boat. And I'm just like, all right, I'm still going to focus. Like that. It's hard though. So that's why we have these groups, because I get like so down. And then I'm like, okay, I see everybody in the group who's an up. It's kind of like ebbs and flows. Like when your husband's down, you're up. When you're down, they're up, type of thing. So the groups are really helpful. And Jasmine, you've been really, really keeping me going, because I'm like, okay, she's killing it. Like, I got this. I'm just getting myself overwhelmed. I'm just going to do one thing at a time. So, all right, ladies, I'm going to end the call. You know where to find each other. I'm excited about this coming week, and let's just kill it as much as we can. And no pressure. Grace, forgiveness, one thing at a time. Carrie, I'm talking to me and you. No freaking pressure.
I know.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye.